Thinking of moving to Burbank, California? You might have heard about the studios, the great schools, and the charming neighborhoods, but have you considered the high temperatures, rising insurance costs, and the fact that homes are not cheap? Before you pack your boxes, here are the top 5 pros and cons you need to know before moving to Burbank, California. Let's get into it. So Niche.com ranked Burbank the 29th best city to raise your family in the entire United States. And we're gonna get into the pros right now: the safety, the schools, the neighborhoods, and the job market. Let's go. So Burbank has one of the most stable job markets in entire LA County, thanks to employers like Warner Brothers, Disney, and the Burbank Airport. And the median income here in Burbank is one of the highest in all of LA County. The median income in Burbank is around $91,000, which is higher than the LA County median at $74,000. And now the average household income is around $135,000, which demonstrates the fact that over half of the residents in Burbank make over the median income, which explains how they can afford the cost of living. There are approximately 182,000 jobs in Burbank, with the biggest employers being the entertainment industry with around 76,000 employees, the healthcare industry employing around 15,000 employees, and there are around 12,400 existing businesses in Burbank. So of course there is the Burbank Airport, built in the early 1900s and still services around 6 million passengers yearly. The airport generates around 12,000 jobs, including airline employees, concessions, and services. Now let's revisit the entertainment industry, as it's a huge driver of the economy of Burbank and gives Burbank a unique identity in LA County, and it's actually pro number 2. So beyond jobs, Burbank's identity, being so close to Hollywood, is in the entertainment industry, as Burbank is the headquarters, or is where major operations of Disney, Warner Brothers, NBC, ABC, Nickelodeon all operate, giving the city a unique cultural energy. So of course the high density of these entertainment companies in Burbank creates a whole ecosystem of more networking, shorter commutes, and also spillover jobs like gear rentals, post-production homes, and catering. And as we had mentioned, the entertainment industry generates around 76,000 jobs for the city, with the 2 largest ones being Warner Brothers, around 10,000 jobs, and Disney generating around 7,800 jobs. Burbank is set to benefit from a tax and credit expansion program from the California government, expanding these credits from $350 million to around $750 million, and expected to generate around $1 billion in economic activity, and Burbank should be benefiting from this program. Average salary in this industry can range anywhere from entry-level positions starting around $50,000 to post-production engineering or senior animation, averaging $150,000 and above. So that's pro number 2, Burbank being the entertainment capital of the world, generating so many jobs and giving the city an identity. Now, pro number 3 for Burbank is that it's a safe, innovative, and family-friendly city. Burbank is known for being one of the safer cities in LA County, with its own police department, lower crime rates, and clean and well-kept neighborhoods. Burbank has its own downtown area, which includes 600 different shops, restaurants, and stores, and it is a pedestrian friendly area that is close to residential. In downtown, you'll find so many good restaurants. There's a Yard House, Barney's Beanery, a Calaveras Mexican restaurant, a Boil and Crab for a good seafood boil. I love a good seafood boil. There's an AMC theater, a Cold Stone Creamery. So many things for you and your family to enjoy. Then there's the great outdoor lifestyle and trail access. There's the Wildwood Canyon Park and the Snow Canyon Park, both with several hiking trails to enjoy up in the mountains. And then there are several parks in Burbank, my favorite being McCambridge Park. There's also Johnny Carson Park, just to name a couple. And then there's also the Chandler Bikeway, which is a 5.5-mile bikeway that used to be a railway, actually, that the city converted. So of course, Burbank, like I mentioned, has its own police department. So while the rest of LA County relies on LAPD, Burbank has its own private police department. It's one of the safest neighborhoods in cities, like I said. According to neighborhoodscout.com, the violent crime rate in Burbank is around 3.7 out of 1,000 residences, which makes it one of the safest cities in the state and nationwide. So Burbank also owns its own utilities. So Burbank Water and Power are initiating one of the biggest solar projects in the entire nation, aiming to achieve 100% zero carbon energy by 2040. Burbank Water and Power also have initiated a great storm water reclamation project, which delivers around 8 million gallons back to the city, which lowers the rates for the residents. And these are just some of the examples of why Burbank is such a great, safe, innovative, family-friendly city for the residents. So on to pro number 4, Burbank's public school system. Burbank public schools rank some of the highest and above average in California and nationwide, and is one of the reasons why Niche.com ranked Burbank as the 29th best city to raise your family. So Burbank Unified School District is ranked 69th out of 490 according to Niche.com, which would put them in the top 20% of school districts statewide. These scores are based on college readiness, state test scores, graduation rates, and teacher quality. High schools in Burbank average about 94% graduation rate. That's John Burroughs High School and Burbank High School. Both of those schools' facilities also over the last 20 years have been updated. So you'll see brand new football fields, brand new basketball courts, and other facilities that make these high schools so great to go to. There's also the Disney Elementary School. So of course, as we mentioned, there are the studios in Burbank, and this school was renamed in memory of Walt Disney. It's a California Distinguished School, which means it ranks in the top 5% of all California elementary schools based on certain test scores, academics, and other qualifications. Pro number 5 for Burbank is its central location and its size. So Burbank is 17 square miles, so meaning all the parks, Burbank Airport, hiking trails, great schools, all within this mid-sized, good-sized city, which gives it a 70-plus walking score, meaning you can get to certain places, public transportation, and very close to other things around in LA. Like I mentioned, there's a walkable downtown with 600 shops and very close to residential. Like I mentioned, Burbank is about 12 miles north from downtown LA. There is a metro that could take you there in about 20-30 minutes. It's 6 miles away from Hollywood, 2 miles away from Universal Studios, 25 minutes from the ocean. So wherever you are or wherever you want to go to in Los Angeles, rather, Burbank is only a few miles drive. The traffic might be a different issue and how many minutes you might be able to get there, but it is relatively close. Burbank also has easy and direct access to the 5, the 134, and the 101 freeways. So whether you're working in, say, the Valley, downtown, or the West Side, there is easy access to the freeways, and traffic might be an issue, but it is very centrally located to get you to work. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything about living in Los Angeles, California and surrounding suburbs, then subscribe below so you can be the first to know about the current market in Los Angeles, California. My name is Jed with Temps, and my business partner and twin brother Carlo and I have lived in Los Angeles for most of our lives. We lived in San Diego and Orange County, but Los Angeles is definitely where we call home. We love helping people make the move to Los Angeles, so whether it's 12 days or 12 months, feel free to reach out to us. All of our contact info is in the description below, and we'd be happy to help you make a smooth move to Los Angeles. All right, now that we've gone over the top 5 pros, let's go over the top 5 reasons why you may want to pump the brakes and consider before moving to Burbank. So in order to live in Burbank, it's not going to be cheap. Houses range from different styles like Spanish Mediterranean to classic California bungalow to modern contemporary, and I've even seen fixers sell for over $1 million. The median home value in Burbank is around $1.1 million, and the national median home value is around $340,000, making Burbank's median home value around 3 times more than the national median. The median home value in California is around $730,000, so Burbank's at $1.1 million makes it around 50% higher than even the median in California. Now, due to supply and demand constraints, renters also pay a premium. Apartment.com says that the average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in Burbank costs around $2,300. According to Redfin.com, the average price per square foot for a single family home in Burbank is around $750, which is obviously higher than the national average, but it's even higher than the LA County average price per square foot, which is around $600 a square foot. Also, some of the lot sizes in Burbank are a little smaller, and the regulations to be able to change or build something on your lot is somewhat restrictive. Zoning regulations in Burbank also set maximum gross floor area sizes for lots. So, for example, for a 5,000 square foot lot, the maximum gross floor area is 2,000 square feet. The median age of homes in Burbank is around 60 years old, and the median size of homes in Burbank is around 1,500 square feet. So due to high demand and low supply, this makes it really difficult for first-time home buyers to enter the market. All right, let's get into con number 2, which is the high cost of living. According to Best Places, Burbank's cost of living score is a 161, which means it's about 60% higher than the national average. Best Places also says that to live comfortably as a single person in Burbank, they suggest you make $85,000 a year. Groceries, dining, utilities, and especially gas are all well above the national average, so your budget will stretch less here. According to the Economic Research Institute, Burbank's cost of living is about 56% higher than the national average and even 12% higher than the average city here in California. Gasoline in Burbank is around $4.45, and the national average is around $3.40. So that's about 30% higher than the national average. And according to Area Vibes, the average sales tax is about 42% higher than the national average. So in Burbank, you're going to need to make more income than average, not just to afford housing, but just to live in Burbank. You may need to budget tighter, accept trade-offs, or figure out a way to make some extra cash. All right, so we're up to con number 3, and con number 3 is the high temperatures, especially during the summer, and what that effect has on fire risk and increasing insurance. Burbank is located in the San Fernando Valley, which is only about 50 miles southwest of cities like Palmdale and Lancaster. And Palmdale and Lancaster are technically on the on the border of the Mojave Desert. So temperatures over there in Palmdale and Lancaster can get up to like 110, 115 degrees in the summer, and in Burbank it could get up to around 100 degrees. Fire risk and incidents have increased dramatically over the last few years. They've always happened, but in 2017, the La Tuna fire burned around 7,000 acres, and that's just northeast of Burbank. According to Cal Matters, insurance companies are limiting coverage, canceling policies altogether, or increasing premiums in high-risk areas. The California FAIR Plan is made up of a pool of insurers mandated and required by California law to sell fire insurance to people who can't find regular insurance elsewhere. Premiums are going for around $6,000 a year under the California FAIR Plan. But everyone's situation and the location of their house is different. So be sure to reach out to me when you're shopping insurance, and I can always refer you to one of our preferred insurance agents. All right, let's get into con number 4, which is the traffic and some parking issues. Although better than in, say, Hollywood or downtown LA, traffic still does get backed up in Burbank at choke points on the 5 freeway, the 101 freeway, or the 134 freeway, and especially during rush hour when people are trying to get to and from work, you will experience bumper-to-bumper traffic. According to Best Places, 80% of the people that travel to work travel alone. The location of Burbank in reference to other attractions and other great cities in Los Angeles, it is relatively close, maybe 10-15 miles from even the beach or to downtown, but that could take you anywhere from 30-45 minutes, maybe even an hour on any given day, again, especially during rush hour. So the traffic is something to consider for those who are looking for work and don't want to commute, and maybe who are trying to balance work and home life. Now, as I mentioned, parking in Burbank can be kind of tough too, especially around the mall area and downtown Burbank. So starting in spring 2025, what Burbank did was on the 145 curbside parking spots all along the area I just mentioned, there's $2 an hour parking from 8 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. And these areas used to be free. The enforcement of these curbside parking spots were actually a good thing, because some people would park in these premium parking spots all day, especially in the downtown Burbank area. And if you've ever been to Burbank on a Friday or Saturday night, it's not easy to find parking. The paid parking now does add an extra cost to you, but it does open up spots for other patrons to park their cars. So take the good with the bad, and you're paying for parking now. And now the 5th and final con for Burbank is the limited nightlife. Burbank is a more family-oriented city, and it's relatively quiet after 10 p.m. For more of a buzzing nightlife, you're going to have to travel outside Burbank, typically to Hollywood, North Hollywood, or downtown LA. There are some bars and lounges that will close around 2 a.m. I personally really like Fantasia Pool Hall in downtown Burbank, and depending on the night of the week, they close as late as 2 a.m. There is Flappers Comedy Club at the downtown area. You got to check the schedule, and typically the comedy club will close at midnight, and then restaurants in the area typically close around 9 to 11 p.m. I love a great brewery, so there are a few in Burbank. There is Beer Yard, there's Brews Bros, and there's Lincoln Brewery, but I think the latest one that closes is around midnight. So there are no clubs, there's no night clubbing, no rave venues, no stadiums in Burbank. You're going to have to travel to, say, downtown to do that, and find a bigger act or a sporting event to attend. All right, so that does it for our top 5 pros and cons video of living in Burbank. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel to get the inside scoop of all the best suburbs in Los Angeles, California. All of our contact info is in the description below, and we'd be happy to help you make a smooth move to Los Angeles. Until next time.